109.6. This is the Tea Time with Tarah show, live and on air. I am your host, Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we will discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube page, Stalk Your Destiny. Also, catch my show, The Tea Time with Tara show, and hear what previous guests had to share and what they need to stalk their destiny. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the faith of hope, love, and leadership. Welcome to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. So I want to shout out this, guys. This is my first show on BFAM 109.6. And so I want to shout out my sponsor today, which is Tea Time Enterprises LLC, also known as Stalk Your Destiny. And if you don't know anything about that, you can look it up. We're going to give you some help with that later in the show. I'll tell you more about it. So I want to start you guys this afternoon off with a food for thought quote. And this food for thought quote comes from my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. And it comes from our first chapter. I'll be sharing a food for thought quote with you guys at 2:05 p.m. every Monday. Okay. And so the one that we're starting with today, it says, accountability takes time, but proper planning opens the door for more success and opportunity to achieve success. And so this quote or this book can be found at my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. That can be found there. The book is the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Now, let me read that again. And let's talk about it for just a moment so I can encourage you all. Accountability takes time, but proper planning opens the door for more success and opportunity to achieve success. So, what does that mean to you guys? What does that mean to you? A lot of people with accountability want to put that on someone else. They would rather say that that's not my responsibility or that's not my job. And when in fact, accountability is an inside job for all of us. That's something that does take time because sometimes you have to adjust your mindset on things. And so having to do that, it takes courage. It takes courage to face yourself. It takes courage to say, this is on me. This is about me, And so give yourself grace with that, with learning how to take accountability. But then the quote says, proper planning opens the door for more success. And so this is where we trip ourselves up with being accountable to the planning process. And so in being accountable to the planning process, you got to know, you got to do the work. We often hear people say, faith without work is dead. And part of working, the work in that statement is working your faith. Yes. But the other part is, what are you doing? What are you going after? And so in terms of proper planning, what most people say is, well, I have a to-do list and I'm working on my to-do list. But if your to-do list is not leading you to the expected end, then your to-do list is not helpful to your journey. Okay. And I guess I'll say this quote again, guys. I want you guys to really understand it. Accountability takes time. It is necessary, but proper planning opens the door for more success and then opportunity to achieve success. So why did I say that like that? Because I am the author of the book, y'all. I did write the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. That is by Tarah M. Williams. And so why did I separate those two? Why did I say proper planning opens the door for more success and opportunity to achieve success? Well, I said that because oftentimes, especially in today's world, we hear about securing the financial bag, right? And a lot of people right now are talking about credit repair, about how to get this loan, that loan, how to go to banks and properly have a relationship with your finances and the banks. Now, I'm not going to get all into that, right? But proper planning for when you need to get a bank loan will help you when you go in there to have more opportunities to achieve success. So proper planning opens the door for you to go in. And then having that with you allows the opportunity for more, to achieve success, more avenues to achieve the success. Okay. And so accountability is a really big tool. That's about your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional well-being. That's about your finances. That's about your personal life. Okay. As adults that have, we all have personal lives. Accountability is a big thing of that. So whatever goal it is you're going after, whatever it is you want to achieve with that, then you've got to be responsible to it. And I think that that's what accountability comes down to. It comes down to, are you responsible to the thing you said you want? Okay. This has nothing to do with other people, you guys. Oftentimes we try to prove points to people and say, well, I don't have to do this or that, and they need to take, no. This is an inside job. This is about you achieving what you desire for your life. Can you be accountable, and can you give yourself the time that it takes to be accountable? Okay. So for one last time, for that quote is, accountability takes time, but proper planning opens the door for more success and opportunity to achieve success. Okay, and that is from the accountability portion of the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny by Tarah M. Williams, yours truly. Okay, so that's how we're going to open up the show every week, guys. We're going to start off with the quote, get you guys some Monday mindset going so that I can just open up your minds, get you alert. And also, if that's all the time you had to listen in was the first 5 minutes, then I wanted to feed you something that was worth your time and worth you listening to and setting your mind to. And hopefully that encourages you for the week, that you take that with you. Okay. So now, since this is business and Bible basics, y'all, this is not a Bible study. I want to be very clear, you all. This is not a Bible study, but it is business and Bible basics. If I say profanity, please excuse me, because I will not sugarcoat it for people. I like to keep things very simple and very authentic. Okay. So if I use profanity, please excuse me if it offends you. Otherwise, keep it going. Okay. So today we're going to I'm going to talk with you guys from my daily devotional. This is a monthly devotional. And this devotional it's from a series that I wrote called Earthly Branches. It's a 12-book devotional series. Okay. And so the one I'm speaking from today, and these are monthly interactive devotionals, guys. I'm sorry. These are monthly interactive devotionals. And these can also be found at my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. And so because this is an interactive monthly devotional series, it has a food for thought, okay, category. It has a daily focus and a question for the day. And so since this show right now is airing on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what I'm going to do is go over the week for a minute. Okay, y'all? Can we have some devotional time? Okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to make it boring. Okay. I'm going to talk about it with you. Talk you through it. Okay. So with new beginnings, and this show today is new. It's our first show. So it's just right on topic that we're talking about proper preparation. It's right on topic that we're talking about new beginnings. But in here, the first week of this devotional, again, that's Earthly Branches 12-book devotional series. And the first week starts off with the scripture focus of Hebrews 11. Okay, y'all. And so I'm not going to read most of this. I'm just going to read a couple lines from this. Okay. It says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. By faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith, he was commended as righteous when God spoke well of his offerings. And by faith, Abel still speaks, even though he is dead. Okay. So this is Hebrews 11, y'all. That's the focus for if you all who want to take notes on what the scripture focus is for this week. It's Hebrews 11. Okay. And we are talking about new beginnings. So I didn't read all of it, but all of Hebrews 11 is, I didn't read most of it. Okay. So please go back, pull your Bibles out, y'all. You know, those who want to reference this, go back and read Hebrews 11 and think about all those different ways that we work our faith. I just talked about working our faith. So go back and consider how we do that. Okay. Now, with this being business and Bible, let's talk about it. Let's get down to it. Okay. The first point in week 1 of this devotional for new beginnings says faith is not based on what we can see with our own eyes, rather what we believe in our hearts. At God's command, what is seen was formed out of what was not visible, the seemingly impossible made possible, right? So the focus for today says trust God beyond what your eyes can see. That's what you should take. That's the meat of it. Trusting God beyond what your eyes can see, right? And so the question of the day is, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? You know? And so actually a few things here popped out for me is that what is seen was formed out of what was not visible. And so oftentimes we hear about writing our vision and making it plain, and so that it can be seen. You know, what is formed was made out of what not visible. But what happens with that is you have an idea in your mind about things, right? When it comes to your life, your business, anything, your spiritual life, you have an idea in your mind. And oftentimes we try to make other people see what we're seeing, what we can visualize. We want other people to get on board with that. And most of the time, that's not what's going to happen. You may find some people that support you in what you're doing, but most people will not be able to see what you have in your mind or your imagination. And that's something that Einstein mentioned, but I actually didn't think about that when I was preparing for this. Okay. He mentioned about imagination, and that's how we cause things into being. Okay. You see it in your imagination, and then you go forward in it. You create it, you develop it, right? And so trusting God beyond what your eyes can see. Now that has to do with the journey, and I'll get to a journey later today as well. Okay. But what are you looking at, right? Oftentimes we get caught up in looking at our circumstances. And y'all can comment below. Comment below. What are you looking at? You know, or what are you trusting God for? Be sure to comment below on that. What are you trusting God before? What's my response? Let's see. What am I looking at? I am guilty of looking at what I can see. I'm guilty of looking at my circumstances. I am guilty of looking at what I don't have in my hand. And y'all, let me tell you with that, when we look at things, like, you know, they say the grass is greener on the other side. Well, stop looking at the other side, you know, because if you weren't looking at the other side, you wouldn't have seen that. If you looked at your side and gave focus and dedication to it, you would have been able to see where you may have been missing things. And even if you didn't see it all, you know, you didn't recognize it, you know, because you don't know what you don't know. Okay. But if you took time to look at what's in your hands, took time to look at the things that are in your control, then we get the chance to better our own situations. We get the chance to assess things properly. Then I was reading another book last week, and she was talking about comparison, and then everybody talks about comparison. Okay. But comparison is the death to your dreams. Comparison, it kills everything about yourself. It kills every piece of confidence you have, every trust in yourself, every good thing you thought. Comparison kills that, unless you're comparing and being encouraged and saying, wow, I can aspire to be similar to that. And I say similar because we cannot be exactly who someone else is. You are not purposed to be that person. If you were, you would be them. Plain and simple. If you were purposed to be someone else, you would be. So again, what are you looking at? Faith is not based on what we can see with our own eyes, rather what we believe in our hearts. So accountability comes in with hard work. Okay. With our hard work, we don't want to take accountability for what we believe in our own hearts. And then we think, well, that's just what I believe, and this is just where I am and who I am, and this is my lot in life. And then you settle. And that's not the life that we're called to live. You're called here to live an abundant life, you know. So if you open up the belief in your heart, you open up opportunities. Again, that quote, everything's just coming together, okay? You open up doors for opportunity when you believe, because you don't prepare for something you don't believe could be yours, okay? And so this is a lot, y'all, and I know I'm just landing on, it's a lot. But if you work your faith, you have a vision, you have an idea in your mind, you see that, believe that in your heart, that's going to cause you to do the work necessary in your heart and mind, in your life, to go forward in seeing what it is you desire, what your life desires, okay? So what are you looking at, y'all? What are you looking at? What are you fixing your eyes on? Let's go to Tuesday and see what this one says, okay? Now, remember, I didn't read the entire scripture, so this is going to reference Hebrews 11. Every day that I read right now, it's going to reference Hebrews 11, because that's the scripture focus for this first week. Okay, y'all? So carry that with you. But Tuesday's point says, stand in awe of God. Take him at his word, even when it makes no sense at the time. Okay? I'm going to read that again in a second. Trust that God's instruction or warning is not in vain. He will do just what he said, okay? And so the daily focus for Tuesday is build it anyway. I told y'all this is business and Bible, okay? We in here about doing what needs to be done, okay? Not just reading the Bible and not applying it, not just hearing motivation and inspiration and not knowing what to do with it. But the daily focus here says it says build it anyway, okay? And then the question for the day here is, what will you believe God for? And I know I mentioned that when I was just reading Monday, but I didn't know that was for Tuesday. So bear with me. I can go ahead of myself sometimes, but I wrote the book. So so I've lived this thing, okay? I've walked this thing out. And this says, stand in awe of God, not in fear of God, where you feel like you can't speak to God or have a relationship with God, but just in awe, like, God, you did that for me. Like, wow. Or God, you're going to do that for me. You know, you kept me from this, or you woke me up, whatever it is. Stand in awe of God. And it says, take him at his word, even when it makes no sense at the time. And y'all, some of you all know me. Most of you have never even heard that I exist. Okay. But you'll get to know me here on this show, all right? So taking God at his word, even when it makes no sense at the time. I have done so many things on this faith journey, y'all, that makes no sense to other people, that it's just proof that God is real. It's proof that what I've heard from God, I've written down, I've acted on. I can refer back to it and show you, like, well, this is what God said about this to me. And no, everybody does not have that relationship, you all. That takes time, focus, openness, dedication, and believing, you know, as well. But this, if you do believe, you know, for you guys who do believe, take God at his word, even when it makes no sense. That just means have a willingness to see what it is you desire come to pass. Have a willingness to see good things happen, you know. And I can hear, you know, pessimists saying, well, that's not ever going to happen for me. That's fine. That's fine. You know why? Because that's what you believe in your heart for your own life. And so then this is not for you, but maybe it is, because you're still listening, you know. So trust that God's instruction or warning is not in vain, okay? And by that, I can tell you guys, listen, I'm ready for today, because I had we had the pandemic, right? The pandemic caused me to start teaching online, okay? Tea Time with Tarah. It was a community gathering, it's still a community gathering, but the pandemic forced me to teach online for that. The pandemic, I believe, also forced me to start doing moments of truth on Wednesdays. I used to do moments of truth, and I would just speak freely for 15 minutes. Okay. During the pandemic, I started a podcast, and also I was on radio. I was on radio. I had a segment on radio called Tea Time with Tarah. Okay. And I was on a morning show. So I have history of producing on radio, internet radio, and on air radio. I have history of showing up online and teaching and speaking, right? And so that warning and that instruction to do those things is what prepared me to be here today, to be able to say, when this opportunity came along to be on a 1 hour show, y'all, I talk for 20 minutes. I speak for 15 minutes. The segment was 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And I really went for 4 minutes on that. But a 1 hour show. Okay. The only way that I'm prepared today, and God just revealed that to me today. Okay. I didn't think I was prepared for this. But if I had looked at someone else and compared myself, I would have killed the opportunity for me to see that I am enough. And I hope you catch that for yourself. That if you look at somebody else and you see what they're doing or how they're doing, you miss the opportunity to see that your life has prepared you for where you are right now, or the opportunities that are coming your way. Okay. Your life is preparing you for that. Even the things you don't like, even the things you don't understand, that it's not in vain. Okay. It will be put to use. And again, I will say it'd be put to use whether you believe or not. Okay. Because as you can see yourself growing, I believe that your faith in yourself will grow because you can check your own track record. And that's important, guys. If you don't check your own track record, then please be sure to start writing things down so that you can check your own track record and see what God has already done in your life. See what you've already achieved and your capabilities as well. Write those things down, document them, you know? So what will you believe God for? I'm going to try to go over one more and then we're going to keep this show going, you guys. Thanks so much for being here and tuning in on my first day. Can't wait to hear what you guys think of the show, okay? But more importantly, I'm here to change your life. So I thank you for allowing me in your ears and in your eyes, for those of you who are watching online, to do that. So Wednesday's point, this is the third one I'm going to read for today, and then I'm going to move on, okay? Because we're here until 3 o'clock, so I'm going to move on so we can keep this going and I can keep building you up and encouraging you guys, okay? So Wednesday says, if you have been called to a place, go. Abraham made his home in the promised land, but had no idea where he had been going. Sarah considered God faithful and received his promise of a child. His promises go beyond just you and your present situation or circumstance, okay? And the daily focus is God won't lead you astray, all right? God won't lead you astray. That's just something to think on. But the question is, will you still go where God instructs? Okay. Now, I'm going to get into the journey, y'all. I told you, you're going to get to know me today. Okay, listeners. And you're going to get to know yourself in the process, thinking about these things, thinking these things through. Okay. Will you still go? So if you have been called to a place, go. Abraham made his home in the promised land, but had no idea where he had been going. And the thing about that, y'all, is that oftentimes when we think about, well, God's going to bless me, or God's going to do this for me, God's going to do that for me, we think it's pretty. I don't know who told you that it was a pretty journey. I don't know who told you that it was a pretty journey, because most of the journeys in the Bible are not cute at all, okay? We all look broke, busted, and disgusted, as another YouTuber says, okay, all the time. We all look messed up in our transitions. It's not a pretty journey. The destination may be beautiful, it may be amazing, but the journey has some bumps and bruises. The journey has some ups and downs. In the journey, you have to traverse things you had no idea were up ahead. Okay? So have some grace with yourself. But Abraham went to the promised land, y'all, and didn't even know where he was going. But guess what happened when he got to the promised land? Because when we think of the promised land, we think of a land flowing with milk and honey, right? Not dirt. We don't think about a desert, you know. Also, we think, oh, when I get to where God's taking me, I'm going to live this type of lifestyle. And you have no idea. No idea. You could live a beautiful life, y'all. Okay. For those of you who are blessed in that way, you know, congratulations. That's wonderful, right? But you know the journey that you took to get to that. You know how hard it was to get those things in place for yourself. You know how much work and dedication you had to put in there, right? So Abraham got to the promised land, y'all, and it was dirt, and then pitched a tent. Okay, a tent. A tent, y'all. How many of us are willing to go where God tells us to go and pitch a tent there? A tent, y'all. Think of how humble you have to be. Think of how grateful and graceful you have to be willing to leave your comfort from where you are now. Even if it's comfort, and I'm not going to talk about this today, y'all, but I have taught it before. We get comfortable in the wilderness. We get comfortable lost, okay, in a place we don't want to be anyway. We get comfortable there sometimes. And so come out of that, right? How many of us would be willing to come out of our comfort zone and go into a land that we don't know, with that's not flowing with milk and honey like we thought initially, okay? And pitch a tent. That mindset that has to be there is, God, if you say go, I'm gonna go because I trust you. I believe in you. And this tent is for a time, but this tent is shelter. This is where we get from the comparison, right? Can't compare, right? You have a place to call your own. You have safety from a storm, right? You have those things. So keep that in mind. Will you still go because God won't lead you astray? What will you believe God for? Will you build it anyway, what he's showing you? And what are you looking at? Trusting beyond what your eyes can see. Okay, y'all? So that was from some portion of week 1 from my monthly devotional series. And this one is titled New Beginnings, y'all. Again, that scripture focus for that was Hebrews 11. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit more about my sponsor today. Tea Time Enterprises LLC has been in business since 2015. And with that, with Stalk Your Destiny, we focus on identity, direction, and accountability. Also, with Stalk Your Destiny, we believe that everything you want to become, you already are. So if you are in need of a life coach, if you are in need of a chaos coordinator, if you're in need of somebody to help you get unstuck in your life, get from point A to point B, if you're in need of someone to help you strategize a plan or break down your goals for the next year, or you just need to sit and talk to somebody about navigating mental health or just life, period. And it's not therapy, y'all, but talk therapy, being able to speak to somebody in general helps you, especially when the focus is faith, hope, love, and leadership. Okay. Then you can reach out to Stalk Your Destiny. That'll come up again later on the screen, but that's what our sponsors deal in. And you can set up a VIP session, or you can set up whatever session you need that goes hand in hand with what you're looking for. Okay. So guys, let's get down to the business topic of the week. How am I doing? How are y'all liking this? Comment below or chime in if you're able to. BFAM, if y'all able to chime in, let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you are liking this show, this information, this inspiration, motivation, all of those things. Let me know how you're doing with that. Now I'm just going to talk to y'all, okay? Now you can just get to know me for this moment of time, okay? So, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Stalk Your Destiny and Tea Time Enterprises as well a little bit later in the show. Around 2:45, I'll tell you guys some more about that. And I'll tell you more about how to become a sponsor at that time as well. Okay. So our business topic for this week, y'all might already know it. Y'all might already know it. Journey to the new. Okay. It's journey to the new. Now, did I know that all of those things I just read to y'all were going to run together when I set this up? No, I did not. I did not know which devotional series I was reading from until this morning. And that goes to my trust in God. And that goes into proper planning. If I hadn't written the books years ago, I wouldn't have it to stand on today. Okay. So journey to the new. Okay. So let's start with this, okay? I made a post on Facebook some time ago that was about being a suitcase. What if you were a suitcase, right? And you're going somewhere, right? Oftentimes when we pack a suitcase, we pack based on where we are. We pack based on our idea of where we're going. But what if you are the suitcase and you are being packaged by God? You know, what if you're being packaged by God? So it's like, God, I have these gifts and these talents, but I don't even like doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm so gifted at it. That's just an example. Okay. Or let's say you love what you do and you have to journey into something new that you don't know about, right? So God's putting these different seeds inside of you. You're getting packed. You're being packed with these different life experiences, these different things that are just chipping at you and changing you, kind of like an ice block being what's it, an ice sculpture? Kind of like an ice sculpture. It's a big block, and then you just start chipping at it, and it can look, if you're the ice, I guess it could be painful, okay? But you're being made into something new, right? And so starting off with that example, just the journey of the new, you're the suitcase and you are being packaged. I wonder if you looked at your life in that way, if that would help you to understand that God's taking you somewhere, that you're going somewhere with this, that somebody out here needs something that you have. Because in case you all didn't know, we are not here for ourselves. We are here to help, support, bless, lead, change, or whatever, to connect with someone else. Okay. And even if it's one person, even if you smiled at a person every day, I guarantee you changed a life. And that's what it's about, y'all. Each of us being in support of each other, because we're all here, right? So journey into the new. A little bit about me. We are right now broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, y'all. And I am not an ATLian, okay? And I don't even know if they say that here, okay? So I am not that, okay? I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I have only been here about 2 months, okay? And why am I here? And like this opportunity, y'all, how do you get opportunities if you don't show up? How do you get opportunities if you don't go? You don't even know what's there if you don't knock on the door, right? And so God told me over a year ago, last March 2023, God said, you're moving next year. I think it was May 2023. You're moving next year. Start packing. Okay. And don't renew your lease at your house, right? So I started packing my house up, y'all. I had no idea where I was going. I had family and friends going like, you're moving, but where? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. God's going to tell me in 6 months. Okay. Imagine how crazy I looked. Imagine how crazy I still look. I'm still on this journey. Okay. So we're going to keep going. You're going to move in a year. You need to start packing, right? So I start packing. I don't know where I'm going. I just know that I have to pack up my house, And so this journey's taking place. It's psychologically a mess, y'all. Okay. Because it's hard to explain to people what you already don't know, and they can't get on board to see what you're doing. And it's a lot internally. Okay. So that happens. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to start packing. And God's like, give away your clothes. Okay. I'll give away all the small things. Give all those away. Give away all your dresses. Okay. But I love dresses. Like, I absolutely love dresses. And I had to give most of them away. I gave over 30 dresses away. Okay. Give away your shoes. I gave away 21 pair of shoes in this time. Okay. The funny thing, when God tells you to move, he's going to tell you what to take with you as well and what not to take. And Abraham had to take up his whole family, okay, or leave his family, packed up and left his family, but he did take people with him as well and things with him as well. But okay, leave those things behind. And now I'm moving through the year 2023, get to October, and God reveals that I'm moving to Atlanta. Now, let me backtrack on Atlanta with this journey. Okay. In 2021, I came to Atlanta for my birthday. And I did not come here for a party, y'all. I came here for a date with God. Again, I had been instructed by God, go to this place and meet me there. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking like I'm here for the comedy show, y'all, because I love comedy. So I'm thinking I'm here for the comedy show. I'm about to go eat, and God's like, no. And I did though. I did go to one comedy show and I ate there. Okay. but that first time I came to Atlanta in 2021, I literally had a date with God. I literally had to spend time with God for that time that I was here. And it was very refreshing. But for those of you who are wondering, like, well, how do you hear from God? You sit there. You be open to listening. And some of you who may meditate or things like that, it may take a minute to quiet your own mind and your own thoughts. And if so, sometimes write it down so you can get it out. That's a mind purge. Everything that's in your mind, write it down, get it out, and then sit there peacefully and wait. And also, if you need help with that too, like, well, I need a specific answer from God about X, Y, and Z, that's fine. Write the question down and leave room for God to respond. Write the question down before you go to bed, wake up the next morning and see what God says. And by seeing what God says, I mean, don't make up your own mind. The first thing on your mind that you hear is your response. Write it down. Okay. So I came to meet with God, and I'm a Jesus girl, y'all. So I've been in God's face since I was 12 years old. I've been in my Bible since I was 12 years old. Okay. So I'm not, holy, holy, saved, and sanctified. I'm not. But I have a relationship with God to where when God says go, I go. I am obedient. And they say obedience is better than sacrifice. It's hard. But so I came here for that, for my birthday, 2021. And that was great, y'all. It was refreshing. I got information that I needed. I got downloads from God that I needed, direction on how to partner with God, because everything in my business that I do, I partner with God on. And so I got all that information. Okay, great. Then I came back the next year for my birthday again, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday. And God's like, yeah, meet me in Atlanta. It's like me and God are homies, okay? And he's like, meet me in Atlanta. And so I did. And this time I brought a friend with me as well. But it was still about my time with God. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why I was coming to Atlanta for my birthday. I didn't know why it wasn't a big deal or something about inviting other people. Sometimes you guys that's listening or watching this, I think that it is very important for you all to know and understand that it's okay to have things that are just for you and about you. And that's not about hurting other people. It's not about being selfish, but sometimes you need the space to breathe and be yourself and get with yourself and see, do I like the person that I'm being and the life that I'm living? Okay. Something else to consider. So came back December 2022, and I'm like, okay, I like it here. It still really didn't see much of the town, y'all. I still haven't seen much of the town now living here. It's so big. But I came back and I fell in love with how I felt here. I fell in love with the weight that lifts when I come to Atlanta. And so when God told me in October of 2023, y'all, he said, you're going to Atlanta, then I knew and I felt joy. If God tells you you're going somewhere, start packing. Start believing. Ask God to deal with you. Ask God to prepare you. Ask God to help with the unbelief of yourself and those around you. Friends and family may not understand. Ask God to help you with that, support you as you go forward in what he's spoken to you and you believing it. Okay. Because I'm proof. I'm here right now. I prepared what God told me to prepare. I did the work God told me to do. And now literally this show, guys, is a testament to the topic for today, the topic for this week. It's a testament to that, because had I not moved to Atlanta, you wouldn't be seeing me right now. Had I not gotten on Drea's show, that Had to Do It podcast, had I not met Drea through my cousin, these things, we have to, let me tell y'all, this is going to a different part of this journey. In your journey, show up for yourself. Show up for you, because you matter. And if you've seen anything on my Facebook page in the last couple of days, I've been saying it. You matter. So show up for you, because you never know what doors of opportunity are opening just from people you know or are meeting. Okay. And so show up for your journey and be willing to jump into the new. Do I know what's ahead of me after this? I don't, but I have an idea because there's so much more ahead. This is only the beginning of this new level. And I like to look at new levels as in a video game. Every time you get to a new level, guess where you start? At the beginning. And so I like to look at a new level in life as it's a new beginning, which is ding, 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 the topic for the week. Okay. You all are literally here with me today on a new beginning of Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air. Something new. That's something that has not been before. I have the Tea Time with Tarah show, but this is something new. This is a new beginning. It's a new journey. And so don't be afraid to walk into something new. Don't be afraid to believe that you can do it. Don't be afraid of the hard work and the frustration, y'all. Because again, I told y'all, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. But believing in yourself and trusting God and believing what God tells you about who you are, it's very helpful along the way as you go forward and stalk your destiny, y'all. Go after your destiny. Why? For some of you that's listening, wondering why is it stalk your destiny? Because we know stalkers to be relentless. They go after things that don't belong to them. They will get arrested. They will fall out of trees, but they do not stop. Okay. Typically, they don't stop or they find a new target, right? With us as people, we need to take on that idea in terms of our goals and our destiny, because those things do belong to us. Our dreams, our goals, our purpose, that matters, that belongs to you. Okay. And so in that belonging to you, don't forfeit it. Don't just give up on it. Yes, you're going to have hard times. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, it's going to be a fight. But yes, it can be beautiful. Yes, it can be rewarding. Okay. And yes, it is worth it. What you desire is worth you going after and putting in work for your destiny and your purpose, because that's something that you deserve. Okay. So it's 2:45. If you're still here, thank you for being here for this long with me. I appreciate it. And I hope that this is helping you with your life. I hope this faith, this hope, this love, and this leadership is changing your life, because I wake up daily to change lives. I want to shout out again, our community sponsor is Tea Time Enterprises LLC, which is my company, you all. I sponsored this show. And with that, as Stalk Your Destiny, I am a life coach and chaos coordinator, and I am here to help you become what you already are. I'm here to help you get clear on your goals, on how you see yourself, your identity, your direction, and your accountability. And even if you need help with book writing, strategies, business, so management, okay, life management, business management, project management, book writing management. Okay. If you need help with those things, then you can look up stalkyourdestiny.com for that. Also, if you would like to be a sponsor for the show, y'all, because that's the thing, okay? We want you to be a sponsor for the show. Please send an email to Tea Time with Tarah, and that is TEA Time with Tarah. Tarah is TARAH at gmail.com. Please send your inquiries. I will let you know what packages I can let you know right now. We have 5 different packages that you can take advantage of. So please send me an email. Again, that's teatimewithtara at gmail.com. Email me if you're interested in being a sponsor, sponsoring a show, if you want me to mention your product, your service, or your company that you have. If you have an event coming up, I can also shed light on that as well. Please feel free to go ahead and email me, and I'll send you information on how to sponsor the show and how to get your information out there. Now, I hope that the show today was very helpful for you guys. I hope that this show evoked something new in you. I hope it made you feel like that was what you needed. That you needed to hear something about that. Because when it comes to stalking your destiny, when it comes to taking a new journey, you have to have faith. And I don't mean just faith in the God that I believe. I mean, you have to have faith in yourself, and you have to have faith in your work. Okay. And you have to have that hope to go along with that. You have to hope that what you're looking for is going to be yours, it's going to be possessed by you. Okay. And being real about it with the accountability, being real about where you fall short, where you may need help with, what you can do better, you know, um, or how great you are as well. Like, let's not forget the other side of that. We shy away from how great we are at things. And again, I don't mean this in a manner that you shit on other people. I mean it in a manner that you are honest with you, that I'm actually really good at what I do. Okay. And if y'all need to ask about me, then find somebody to ask, because I'm really good at what I do. Again, I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, for Tea Time Enterprises, that is, Stalk Your Destiny. Been doing that for almost 10 years now. And again, that's at stalkyourdestiny.com is where you can find more information about who I am. I am an 13, sorry. I am a 13-time published author. I also have some books and journals. As a coach, I have a line of accountability tools, planners and journals to help you along the way to be accountable to your goals, your missions, your visions in life, and also a place for you to be able to write those things down. A couple of the journals that I have are journals that help you when you have an attitude. Okay. When you need to vent and turn it all around, because venting can just go nowhere and cause us to have a wasteful mindset. We're wasting time on it, with poor thinking, right? And so turning it all around, those journals are what helps, excuse me, when it comes to venting and then having gratitude and learning the lessons you need to learn from whatever it is that you're pissed off about. Okay. So you can go to www.stalkyourdestiny.com if you need a coach. I am here for it. We are open for VIP sessions right now, but also other things as well. So check out the website. You can also Google me at Stalk Your Destiny. And stalk is like a stalker or a stalk in terms of sugarcane. Okay. STALK. Your Destiny. And again, for that sponsorship or interest, please be sure to send us an email. Okay. Let me see. What else do I have to tell you guys? Announcements and product information. Let me tell you a little more about who I am. Why do I do this? Why do I do what I do? Okay. So, why do I want to wake up every day to change lives? I wake up daily to change lives because I feel that since I was 12 years old, I have been chosen to be a vessel of God. And I see so many people out here that could go further in their life if they had the proper support. If you had somebody in your corner saying, I am here for you, and this is what I choose to do because this is the best of me that I have to give, is to show up for you. I can sit and listen to people talk because I genuinely want them to be better. I genuinely want them to feel good about themselves. I genuinely want people to know, and I don't think I've said this at all today, but with Tea Time with Tarah, we say you have a voice and it needs to be heard. I said it at the beginning. I will say it again later. Okay. But you have a voice and it needs to be heard. And I know what it's like. And you guys will learn more along the way as you meet me here every Monday at 2 p.m. Okay. Every Monday at 2 p.m. as you meet me here, you will hear more along the way of my journey and why it's so important to have a voice and for that voice to be heard. And the little mentions in terms of your journey and everything having to do with your voice and it being important is that if you can't hear you, nobody can. If you don't take time to listen to yourself, you're going to look stupid out here. You're going to look lost, and you won't know the power that lies on the inside of you. And most of us get our voice taken by dictatorship, whether that's parents, grandparents, family members, school systems, teachers, whatever it is. Life shuts us up in so many different ways. And so it's just very important to know that you have a voice. It's very important to know that that voice needs to be heard. Okay. And now delivery on how you do that, again, should be with love. Delivery on how you do that should be considering yourself and others. Again, this is not for somebody who's already puffed up, self-focused, and self-absorbed to think that everything has to be about me. Everything does not have to be about you. Okay. And if it is, then be your best self so that you can encourage and inspire someone else to be best as well. Not so that you can compete with them, but so that you can help them live their best life like you are living your best life as well. Okay. Now, I don't know where that came from, but I guess that's for somebody. Okay. I guess that is for somebody. Okay. So do me a favor. If you're listening online and you're watching this live, like, comment below, share the live as well. Definitely comment those. I want to hear what you all have to say. I shared a lot today. Definitely comment, like, comment, and share the live video. Okay. If you're listening, just listening on air, then please do me a favor and subscribe. Yes, please subscribe, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. You guys, don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Because I forgot to say it, my bad. But those of you who are listening, whether you're riding your cars, whether you're working, whatever it is, thank you for tuning in. And meet me back here next week, okay, y'all? But find a way to let us know what you thought today too, and do me a favor as well. Go out and have a conversation with somebody about what you heard today, and let them know what you liked or what stuck with you and what you can do to change your life. Because change starts now. Change starts today. It starts if something struck you mentally and emotionally, then that matters. Okay. So y'all, BFAM 109.6. Am I on live? I'm sorry. What is it? Online? People, everyone tuning in today. This is Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air. I am your host, Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we will discuss, and we have discussed, business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube page, Stalk Your Destiny. Also, catch my show, the Tea Time with Tarah show, and hear what previous guests had to share and what they need to stalk their destiny. Again, y'all, I am Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. This has been Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air, and I'll be back next week, Monday at 2 p.m. I hope to see you there. I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna